The number of people diagnosed with autism continues to grow. Advocates say the availability of services is not keeping up. The diagnosis across the country is close to 3 times more common than it was just 20 years ago.
And yet parents of children with autism in eastern Kentucky are telling us that they still often feel very alone. Tonight, WKYT's Garrett Weimer shows us how grassroots support groups are trying to bridge the great health divide for kids with special needs.
Inside Kreider's barbershop in Prestonsburg,
What's going on there?
the buzz never stops.
Yeah, we're steady.
But as a parent of 2 autistic children, Chris Kreider knows it can be hard to handle for some who sit in his chair.
They deserve to have a good haircut too, just like everybody else. They just have sensory issues that you have to work through.
Kreider's barbershop is one of the first businesses in Floyd County to be certified autism friendly.
I think a lot of people and a lot of businesses, it's just more about awareness than anything else.
One group in particular is encouraging other businesses to go through the training too, part of an effort to make eastern Kentucky more welcoming to the growing number of kids with special needs.
It's not about getting him just help, it's about his survival.
Kelly Jo Blair lives in Martin County. She founded a support group in 2016 after her son Cage was diagnosed, and she didn't know where to turn.
I found myself messaging complete strangers, asking like, what do I do? What resources are out there? And quickly I found there was next to none.
Since then, she's learned she's far from alone. Their group's Facebook following has grown to 1,100 members. They try to help each other and point to resources, knowing to reach autism services, many families in Appalachia have to move, drive miles and miles, or wait for years.
You live your life on a wait list, whether it's a Medicaid waiver wait list or a therapy wait list. That's how it is.
Back in October, Pikeville Medical Center opened a new Appalachian Valley Autism Center in Prestonsburg. The original facility in Pikeville was the first of its kind in the region.
We've had a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, 7-year-old say their very first words. To see a father drop down to their knees in tears and say, I never thought I would hear my child say, I love you. Wow, you can't help but to get emotional.
Even as officials cut the ribbon on the new campus, they said more than 500 children were still on its waiting list.
Eastern Kentucky needs resources for these children. Not just autistic children, special needs children in general are underserved.
That's why this grassroots group is trying to bridge the gap, being there for each other, hosting inclusive events, and seeking change in their communities.
Give our kids a spot, give them a chance to succeed.
At his shop, Chris Kreider says they figured out some ways to make kids more comfortable with a haircut.
A lot of it is time with these kids. You can do a little bit, then let them regain their bearings about themselves and finding something to distract them.
Their car chair, iPads, letting kids hold the clippers.
The big thing with them is getting over the fear of it being close to their ears and stuff like that. That's a huge part of them.
And it's important to Kreider, too, a responsibility he doesn't take lightly, knowing some parents drive from an hour or 2 away to come here.
I mean, something as simple as a haircut for a parent and seeing them smile, something they haven't got in a long time, means the world to us.
A sign that, a little at a time, these parents are making a difference. In Prestonsburg, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And as more insurance companies and Medicaid are moving to cover more autism services, advocates are hoping that more autism centers will come to eastern Kentucky. And Blair says that she tells anyone that she knows who's going to become a speech, feeding, occupational, or ABA therapist, going to college for that, to come back to the region.